Hi, I'm Erika Newell, and this is an upper body seated mobility practice that you can do from the comfort of your home. I'm going to recommend that you have one prop for this practice, which is going to last about 20 minutes. It can be a lightweight yoga block. It could be a playground kids ball or a Pilates style exercise ball. Or it could even be a rolled up towel or blanket into a little roll like this, something that you'll be able to squeeze between the knees to stabilize the lower body so that we can better mobilize the upper body. So if you need to pause and go get set up, find the prop, get the proper chair, preferably not a deep, comfy couch. I need you to be able to perch at the edge with your feet firmly planted. And we'll get started in just a moment. All right, come to the edge of your chair and get tall. Think about elongating the spine, just decompressing where you can, head over heart, over abdomen, belly. If you'd like, place a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. Get a really good long exhale. Make it feel like you're getting out every last drop of air, even though that's not scientifically possible. But it'll feel like you are if you really go for it. And then in through the nose, like you're smelling a rose at the top of the breath. Long, slow, smooth exhales, thorough and complete, followed up by a deep and wide breath into the belly, into the rib cage, and at the end, like you're smelling a sweet rose. One more breath cycle with a good exhale. And a deep inhale, swelling into both hands. And maybe putting a little smile in the corner of your lips. Not because we're toxically positive here, but just because sometimes you'll derive joy from the smile on your face. And sometimes the smile on your face is because of joy in your heart. But I hope this is a joyful practice for you, as it is for me. I use this practice almost on a daily basis to deal with my own scar tissue and side effects of lymphedema from breast cancer. This is also a great practice if you are healing something in the lower body, so you're not ready to really move a lot through the lower body, but you need to get your lymph flowing, you need to get your breath flowing, you need a little more energy, oxygen, and you just need to move and lubricate your joints. So we'll hit all the major joints. And we're going to start with the thoracic spine. You can bring hands to opposite shoulders, and I'm going to give you a side view so you can really see the movement, because it's pretty specific when we do this kind of mobility work. This is inspired by yoga and a mobility practice that comes from functional range conditioning. All right, so from the side, you don't have to move, but I'll move. We're gonna sit up really tall, and then we're gonna roll forwards and collapse through the front of the chest to try to exaggerate the flexion here in the upper back. So yeah, give me a really good hump back without leaning forwards or without tucking the tail. Stay tall through the abdomen, but crunch through the front of the rib cage. So we're closing the front of the rib cage, and then we're gonna open it by getting tall, stacking the head over the heart, over the gut. And when I say gut, I mean the most special place where all the best intuitions and instincts come from. And we're gonna move through this little mini flow for the thorax, for flexion here. and extension here. So basically become as much of a candy cane at the top of your spine as you can, tucking your chin, allowing the shoulders to collapse forwards, and rounding through the upper back. Maybe take a deep inhale here, even though everything is compressed and in the front. Can you still get a good inhale into the backs of the lungs, stretching out the backs of the ribs? And then maybe on your exhale, getting really tall, bringing the shoulders down and back. And flowing with your breath, just letting your breath determine the pace of your movement. And you can take a break. I'm gonna keep going, but you take a break, watch, listen, move as you feel like doing this. We'll try a specific breath match in which we exhale as we flex, inhale as we hold, exhale as we get tall, inhale as we reset in this tall, upright position. Exhale, move. Inhale, hold the pose. Stretch from the inside out. Exhale, get tall, feet grounded, crown rising, maybe chin slightly tucked, shoulders down and back, and inhale, hold that. However long it takes you to exhale is how long it takes you to travel from point A to point B. And however long your inhale lasts, that's how long you'll stay there, stretching. Maybe one more time. Exhale as you move, long, thorough, complete. Inhale as you hold, widening and deepening the breath with each repetition. Exhale as you move. Inhale back to center. All right, bring the hands back down to the thighs. Next up, we're gonna play with rotation in the neck. The neck loves to be rotated, twisting your gaze from side to side, but that can be a little bit of a precarious movement for some folks. So I want you just to feel and go slowly at first. At this point, if you want to squeeze your object between your knees, that would be great. And you can also hold your hands behind your back if that feels comfortable in your shoulders. Gentle hug on the object, a gentle hold in the hands behind the back. All right, we're gonna draw our chin to our chest without moving the chest. Only the movement will come through the neck. I've met very few people who can touch the top of the sternum with the chin, but some people can. When you reach your end range, see if you can breathe here. Like you're smelling a rose right above your heart. Soft jaw, soft cheeks, soft brow. If that feels comfortable, we're gonna hover the chin over the collarbone, either to the right or left, and gaze over that shoulder. And try not to let your shoulders come along with you for the ride, so the arms aren't going to move, and the legs aren't going to move, and the hips are not going to shift. All the movement is concentrated to the neck. See if you can get a good breath in here. And exhale, we're gonna trace an upside down umbrella, a wide U, over to the other shoulder and gaze over the other shoulder. You can open your eyes wide, use your peripheral vision. See as far back as you can see without turning anything other than your head. And twisting only through your neck. And then we'll add a breath match here. It'll be similar to before. It'll exhale as we go to the other side. Upside down umbrella. Inhale as you hold and look. Or maybe close your eyes and just feel inside If it feels really pinchy for you to look as far back as you can, come out of it a little bit. Keep the gaze soft. Close your eyes. Inhale there. Exhale to the other side. Inhale here, and then you could take a hand and you could feel the stuff that's stretching. You'll feel your skin stretch, and you'll feel the fascia and the tissues under the skin stretch over the collarbones. And if you don't have the patience to go as slowly as I'm asking you to go, it's okay if you want to just inhale one direction and exhale the other. That will give enough benefits of moving mindfully with the breath. It's really hard to slow it down and smooth it out. That's, believe it or not, the advanced practice. Good job. All right. And next we're going to get into a different part of the shoulder, down the backs of the shoulders, the scapulae, the blades on the back side of the rib cage that can go up, down, and side to side. We're going to focus on that up, down movement. You've probably done this one before, where you scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears, and then you roll them down and back. We're going to apply a breath match. I'm going to give you a little extra imagery. If you want to remove this object, you can set that back down on the floor. We don't need it just yet for this one. So what we'll do is get as tall as you can. Float the shoulders up towards the ears. Take a deep breath here. And exhale them down and back. Inhale, holding the down and back. It feels like someone else might be pressing on your shoulders from above. That's good. Exhale as you move them up to the ears. Inhale as you hold this sort of odd position. Exhale down and back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, move. Inhale, hold. Exhale, move. Okay, this is really nice for moving lymphatic fluid, draining it from the neck and face. And if it's a little pinchy, right, if you're encountering just uncomfortable tension that your body is not in the mood for today, I'll give you a couple of cues to try to make it easier. Dangle your arms out to the side and give me a beautiful double chin so that the chin is just slightly retracted, head is back, stacked a little more over the heart. Sit up tall, zip up through the core abdominals, and then imagine a puppeteer above has puppet strings attached to your shoulders, right here at the top of the shoulders. And let the puppeteer do the work for you in a very soft and gentle way. And once you get the hang of that, if it's not pinchy, add the breath movement. Exhale as you move. Inhale, can you hold it? Exhale, the puppeteer lowers the shoulders smoothly, slowly. Try to make the scaps go down towards your back pants pockets. Inhale here under the sternum, into the ribs. So we're really trying to isolate the movement of the scaps sliding up and sliding down and together. Yeah. That's really a fundamental movement. You've got to find mobility there to maintain and increase upper body strength. So that's a good one to do. All right, and then we're gonna take our prop, place it between our knees, and give it a gentle hug. We're gonna work on twisting through the thorax next. You can bring hands to your heart or hands up here to that third eye position, whatever feels better in your wrists and shoulders. And we're gonna twist slightly and karate chop to the outside of one knee And come back to center, twist slightly, karate chop to the other side. Exhale as you karate chop. Inhale, hold the hands there into the twist. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, hold the twist there. As you do this, pay attention to your abdominals. You're wringing out your abdominals just a little bit, getting into those obliques. You're also tugging at tissue, at a lot of fascia and tissue in the lower back, even though we're technically not moving the lumbar spine. By squeezing this block, we're keeping our pelvis and our lumbar spine kind of set in stone. So it increases the stability here and increases the mobility above in the twisting part of the spine. So don't let your knees come along for the ride. Also, don't let your knees shift away from the movement, because that means you're leaking the twist. Some of the force is going into the lower back and the pelvis. And not that that's necessarily wrong, it's just not the exercise we're trying to do now. Because for the upper body mobility, I'm trying to keep this navel and up. So this would even be a safe practice to do, a nice practice to do if you're healing abdominal surgeries. You know, as long as your incision is well on the way to closing up very nicely and healing over. This should be a very nice way to get in there and stimulate the tissues without too much strain, and getting a very nice upper body twist. The thorax really likes that twist. Really important if you have scar tissue anywhere on the chest wall, maintain that thoracic rotation. Good job. That's fatiguing. If you haven't already stopped to rest, go ahead and take a break. All right, let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, good. We're at about 17 minutes. I told you this would be about 20 minutes. That's what I'm aiming for. Let's get into the shoulders next. You can put the prop down for now. Unless you need to sit back. If you need to we've been seated upright for a long time, the lower back could be getting tired, the hips could be feeling compressed. So if you want to sit back for this one, you could put your prop at the back of your chair and just let it support you. You could bring your tail a little back to the back end of the chair and just have a little extra support behind you for this one. If not, if you're still feeling great, just work on sitting tall, stacking head over heart, over gut. All right, we're gonna get into the shoulders, the rotational capacity of the shoulders. I'm definitely gonna put this behind me because I'm actually nursing a little bit of a lower back injury myself. So I guarantee you this is all safe, very safe and good for the lower back. As long as it's not yelling and screaming at you right now, you should be good. All right, so we're gonna bring our arm up to what we call a cactus arm, 90-degree bend in the elbow. And listen, if your shoulder doesn't like being in this position, you can also bring it down so it looks a little more like a V. That works for me as well. The movement will be slightly different, so listen up. All right, what we're looking for is pure, clean rotation of the humerus in the shoulder socket. The shoulder socket is gonna stay still. The humerus is gonna rotate in there, and you're gonna be using rotator cuff muscles and tissues exclusively, very deep in the joint. It's a very nice first step to maintaining shoulder mobility, improving shoulder mobility. So I'll show you what we're doing from a side view, and I'll show you what you're doing if your elbow is a little lower. If your elbow is a little lower, you're gonna touch your navel and then take it out. Maintain the 90-degree bend in the elbow. It's like you're patting, it's like you're beating a drum right in front of you. So it's this. If your elbow is up higher, you could keep your wrist straight. You could do like a karate chop arm with the pinky side of the hand coming straight down. I like that. From the side view, it looks like we're shading a pie graph. So if there was a pie graph here, I can get, you know, a little bit more than 90 degrees. Everybody's shoulder is going to be different, right? Especially if you're just coming off of some kind of surgery up here, you may be very limited in that range. So be patient with yourself. What we don't want to do is pop forwards or bend forwards, because then you've put you've leaked the movement into other parts of the body, and you're no longer serving the rotator cuff with the movement medicine. So we have to be really clean and isolate and robotic, you know, very biomechanical about this. That's what a mobility practice is about, rather than, say, a flexibility practice. Yeah, so hopefully maybe you can get to here, butt up against your end range for external, right? Maybe internals like here, and if you can get 90 degrees, that's good. Just work and feel in that 90-degree range. I like that for today. All right, now that you've gotten the hang of the movement, let's rest it for a second. Let's go to the other side. Then we'll come back to this side, do a breath match, and back to this side, do a breath match, so we really get into the flexibility of the chest stuff as well. All right, so just find your karate chop hand or your belly pat arm. You notice nothing else is moving in me. Everything is set in stone except the shoulder stuff and the arm, which is attached to the shoulder stuff. Yeah, so just see how that feels to move that. Obviously, if there's any pain or pinch in there that does not feel right, that tells you something. May need to be looked at by someone else. But this is a great way of just getting lubrication in there. This is a great way of making sure you don't get a frozen shoulder. Do this every day. And now we'll do it with the breath match. Go back to the other rested shoulder. This is point A, this is point B. You're gonna exhale from point A to point B. Inhale, put your hand right here and inhale. Right into this front shoulder stuff. Exhale into the end range here, back at point A, and inhale again into this stuff. Exhale, move. Inhale, hold. Exhale, move. Inhale, hold. Let your breath drive the movement, and if you can get 3, repetitions from point A to point B and point B to point A back with the breath match at that nice slow pace, wow, that's a lot. You're doing great. Let's go to the other side. Okay. And again, just try to keep the elbow in a fixed place. If for some reason you didn't have the strength to sort of hold your own arm up, because that's a heavy lever, it takes a lot of shoulder strength to simply lift that baby up, you can prop this elbow. Do this propped somehow. Maybe there's a table next to you, or you could sit in your chair slightly differently, and find a fixed point for that elbow. So I'll demo that for the next one. For this, when we do our breath match. All right, so find point A, point B. Exhale to point B. Feel free to close your eyes like I do, because I really want to feel it. Inhale, hold. Exhale back to point A. Inhale, hold, and finish the inhale like you're smelling a rose. Exhale the other way. Inhale, hold. Exhale back to point A. Stay tall. Inhale, hold. Finish with the rose. Very nice, very nice. And it's not a lot of movement. Maybe to an onlooker, it doesn't look like you're doing a lot. But if you're doing it with me, you're really feeling it. This is a very mindful mind-body practice Scientifically speaking, what does a mind-body practice mean? It means we're listening and observing how well how our motor neurons go to the the muscles and to tell the muscles how to move, and then we're listening to the sensory neurons run back to the brain to tell us what we're feeling as we're doing it. So we're telling our body neuromuscularly like what to do, and then we're feeling that process so that we're talking to the stuff inside of us, and then we're listening to the stuff inside of us as well. And I just love this practice for coming back into your body after medical trauma or chronic illness, fatigue, stress has the tendency to disassociate the mind from the body. So that's why I love this style of combining yoga with functional range conditioning, mobility training. Joint by joint, you can isolate things, keep some stuff safe while you work on other things. It's a really good system and has changed my life so much for the better. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll be back. As they say, namaste, peace.